Kinikilala natin ang huwarang kontribusyon ng ating mga bayani sa pagpapaunlad ng sektor ng agrikultura. Ang ating likas na yamang lupa at karagatan. Kasama ang mga makabagong teknolohiya. Isang masaganang kinabukasan para sa agrikultura at matibay na seguridad sa pagkain ang naghihintay sa atin.
Okay, balik po tayo, no? Dito na naman po tayo sa ating program. Pakisabi lang po kung okay naman ang ating mga nasa parade na po tayo ngayon. Kasalukuyan pong pumaparada. At tuwan-tuwa po si Pangulong BBM, no? Sa kanyang pagkaway. Ang ganda po ng backdrop natin na National Museum. Welcome po. Ito po ay courtesy ng tinatawag nating RTV Malacanang. Yan. Ito po, ilabas po natin. Ilabas po natin yung video courtesy po. Ayan po, nasa parade pa lang po tayo.
Saludo po sa inyo.
Pasensya na kayo, medyo nagkaroon tayo ng konting problema kanina. Kala natin bumalik na internet natin. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Balik po tayo. Ayan na po, meron pong Republika ng Pilipinas.
Resolution from the Senate and House of Representatives. Senate
May joint resolution po.
Tito Soto III.
At magsasalita po ang ating ikatlo sa pinakamataas na tao sa Pilipinas, outgoing Senate President Tito Soto. Ayan po, si Sara Duterte po, katabi niya po si First Lady. Sa nabuhay po ng mga panahon ng martial law.
As the Senate President and co-chair
Pakinggan po natin
of the
si
joint public session of
Tito Soto.
Congress that canvassed the votes for presidential and vice presidential candidates in the national elections held on the 9th of May, 2022. It is my distinct honor and privilege to join you in this historic occasion and read the dispositive portion of the resolution of both houses, which proclaimed the duly elected President and Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines. The dispositive portion of the said resolution reads as follows. Resolved further to declare that candidate Ferdinand Bong Marcos Romualdez Marcos Jr. and candidate Sara Zimmerman Duterte received the highest number of votes cast for President and Vice President respectively in the national elections
Ayan po, inulit po
on the 9th of
ni
May 2022
Tito
and
Soto
by virtue thereof to proclaim
yung proclamation.
Ferdinand Bong Romualdez Marcos Jr. as the duly elected President of the Republic of the Philippines and Sara Zimmerman Duterte as the duly elected Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines.
To administer the oath of office to
Ito na po,
President-elect Ferdinand
alas 12 po kasi sakto yan, no? Bakit
Chief
po
Justice Alexander G. Gesmundo.
ititigil po lahat ng no?
May we
Dahil
request
sa
on
12
stage,
12
Attorney
noon.
Liza Araneta Marcos.
hanggang ngayon na lang po,
Alexander Sandro Marcos,
3 minuto na lang po ang nalalabi sa panunungkulan ni Pangulong Duterte
to witness the oath taking.
at ang Chief Justice ng Supreme Court po ang mamumuno sa oath-taking ni Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. bilang 17th President of the Republic of the Philippines.
Itaas ang kanang kamay at wikain ang mga sumusunod. Ako, si Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.
Si Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.
ay mataimtim na nanunumpa. Natutuparin ko ng buong katapatan at sigasig
Natutuparin ko na buong katapatan at sigasig
ang aking mga tungkulin bilang Pangulo ng Pilipinas, pangangalagaan at ipagtatanggol ang kanyang konstitusyon, ipatutupad ang mga batas nito, magiging makatarungan sa bawat tao, at itatalaga ang aking sarili sa paglilingkod sa bansa. Kasinawa ako ng Diyos. Congratulations, Mr.
Maraming
President.
salamat.
Yan po, ang panunumpa ng ating bagong Pangulo, Ferdinand Bongbong Romualdez Marcos Jr. na isinagawa po ngayong June 30, ganap na alas 12 ng tanghali dito po sa tapat, no, ng National Museum. Ito pong National Museum, historical po to. 3 presidente po ng Pilipinas. Kasalukuyan po niya nilalagdaan ang panunumpa. 3 presidente po ng Pilipinas. Ika-4 po si Pangulong Bongbong Marcos na nanumpa dito sa harap ng National Museum. Pinangunahan po ni Manuel L. Quezon, pangalawa po si Manuel Rojas, at gayon din si Jose P. Laurel noong panahon po ng hapon. Naiiyak po ang may bahay at ang unang ginang ng Pilipinas, si unang ginang, ano na nga pa kalimutan, Irene ba? Ay, mamaya po, basta si Mrs. Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, pumipirma naman po ang Chief Justice of Supreme Court na pinagtitibay niya na tama at tumpak ang nilagdaan ng ating mahal na bagong Pangulo. Masayang masaya po ang First Family. Nariyan po ang mga iba pang anak bukod po kay Sandro Marcos, na talagang si Sandro Marcos po ang kamukhang-kamukha ng kanyang ama, no? Si Bongbong parang kahawig pa ni Imelda Marcos pero si Sandro po ganyan na ganyan ang itsura ni Ferdinand Sr. Okay, medyo naiiyak po, very solemn po habang inaawit po ang Pilipinas kong mahal na sumikat po noong panahon ng kanyang ama. Kami po ay nag-aaral, isa po yan sa laging pinatutugtog ting flag raising ceremony, no? Yan po yung lagi alaala po yan ng aming pagiging...
Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay.
the President of the Republic of the Philippines, President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.
At para sa kanyang inaugural speech, pakinggan po natin si PBBM. Nandito po sa nagtatanong, narito po si Inday Sara Duterte. Matagal na po nating hindi napapakinggan itong mga awitin na to, no? Yung Mabuhay March. Yan po yung mga awitin ng mga bagong lipunan. Yan po yung mga awitin nung kami ay mga kabataang estudyante, no? Lalo na nung kami elementary pupil. At yan na po, nagpapaputok na po ng Sabay po ng awitin na yan ay ang pagputok po ng pinaputok po ang kanyon, no? 21 gun salute sa pamamagitan po ng kanyon. Sana naman walang tamaan. Meron na kaya? May internet na kaya tayo? Ito na po, pakinggan muna natin si PBBM. Hindi, ibigay mo kay kung yung kay nanay hanapin.
His Excellency David Hurley, Governor General of Australia, and First Lady Linda Hurley, their Excellencies, Special Envoys, and heads of delegations, His Excellency, Most Reverend Charles John Brown, and the esteemed members of the Diplomatic Corps, Vice President Sara Duterte, President Fidel Ramos, President Joseph Ejercito Estrada, President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, Senate President Vicente Soto III, and the honorable members of the Philippine Senate, House Speaker Lord Alan J. Velasco, and the honorable members of the House of Representatives, Chief Justice Alexander Gesmundo, and the honorable justices of the Supreme Court, of course, First Lady Lisa Araneta, and my children, Alexander, Sandro, Simon, and Vincent. I cannot proceed without a special greeting, of course, to the former First Lady Imelda Romualdez Marcos. Other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, ang aking minamahal na mga kababayan, magandang tanghali po sa inyong lahat. This is a historic moment for us all. I feel it deep within me. You, the people, have spoken, and it is resounding. When my call for unity started to resonate with you, it did so because it echoed your yearnings, mirrored your sentiments, and expressed your hopes for family, for country, and for a better future. That is why it reverberated and amplified as it did, to deliver the biggest electoral mandate in the history of Philippine democracy. By your vote, you rejected the politics of division. I offended none of my rivals in this campaign. I listened instead to what they were saying, and I saw little incompatibility with my own ideas about jobs, fair wages, personal safety, and national strength, and ending want in a land of plenty. I believe that if we but focus on the work at hand and the work that will come to hand, we will go very far under my watch. You believe that too. At pinakinggan ko ang tinig ninyo na ang sinisigaw ay pagkakaisa, pagkakaisa, pagkakaisa. We will go farther together than against each other, pushing forward, not pulling each other back, out of fear, out of a misplaced sense of weakness. But we are the furthest from weak. The Filipino diaspora flourishes even in the most inhospitable climes, where they are valued for their quality. The changes we seek will benefit all and will shortchange no one. I was not the instrument of change. You were that. You made it happen. I am now. You picked me to be your servant, to enable changes to benefit all. I fully understand the gravity of the responsibility that you've put on my shoulders. I do not take it lightly, but I am ready for the task. I will need your help. I want to rely on it. But rest assured, I do not predicate success on the wide cooperation that's needed. I will get it done. I once knew a man who saw what little had been achieved since independence in a land of people with the greatest potential for achievement, and yet they were poor. But he got it done, sometimes with the needed support, sometimes without. So will it be with his son. You will get no excuses from me. I am here not to talk about the past. I am here to tell you about our future. A future of sufficiency, even plenty, of readily available ways and means to get done what needs doing, by you, by me. We do not look back, but ahead, up the road that we must take to a place better than the one we lost in the pandemic. Gains made and lost, opportunities missed, well-laid plans superseded by the pandemic. Indeed, ours was the fastest growing economy in ASEAN by ways now outdated. We shall be again by a radical change in the way the world must now work to recover what we have lost in that fire and move on from there. We face prospects of the spread of the war abroad, of which we are totally blameless. We seek friendship with all. But countries like ours will bear the brunt of it. And if the great powers draw the wrong lessons from the ongoing tragedy in Ukraine, the same dark prospect of conflict will spread to our part of the world. Yet, there is more out there. Like going forward by new ways of doing that the pandemic forces to adopt. A stronger resilience, quicker adaptability. They are our best prevention. They are our best protection. Quiet reflection in a rough and tumble campaign of a breadth and intensity never experienced revealed some of them, such as the willingness to listen despite the noise, the hesitation to quarrel over differences, and to never, ever give up hope of reconciliation. These gave me the peace to ponder deeper. There are hints of a road not taken that could get us out of here quicker, to something better, something less fragile. There is also what you, the people, did to cope, but this time empowered by new techniques and more resources. You got by, getting some of what you needed with a massive government help, and for this I thank my predecessor for the courage of his hard decisions. But there is a way to put more means and choices in your hands. I trust the Filipino. Imagine how much more you'd achieve if government backstops instead of dictating your decisions. Always there to pick you up when you fall, giving what you need to get past a problem. Imagine if it invested in your self-empowerment to bring it closer to taking on whatever challenges come. Imagine a country that, in almost every sense, is you. Now imagine what you and government can achieve together. We did it in the pandemic. We will do it again. But again, I will not predicate my promise to you on your cooperation. You have your own lives to live, your work to do, and there too I will help. Government will get as much done alone without requiring more from you. That is what government and public officials are for. No excuses, just deliver. It was like that once upon a time. I did not talk much in this campaign. I did not bother to think of rebutting my rivals. Instead, I searched for promising approaches better than the usual solutions. I listened to you. I did not lecture you who has the biggest stake in our success. And the forthcoming State of the Nation will tell you exactly how we shall get this done. In this fresh chapter of our history, I extend my hand to all Filipinos. Come, let us put our shoulders to the wheel and give that wheel a faster turn to repair and to rebuild and to address challenges in new ways, to provide what all Filipinos need, to be all that we can. We are here to repair a house divided, to make it whole, and to stand strong again in the bayanihan way, expressive of our nature as Filipinos. We shall seek, not scorn, dialogue. Listen respectfully to contrary views. Be open to suggestions coming from hard thinking and unsparing judgment. But always from us, Filipinos. We can trust no one else when it comes to what is best for us. Past history has often proven that. Solutions from outside divided us. None deepened our understanding. They were always at our expense. Never forget, we are Filipinos. One nation, one republic, indivisible. We resisted and never failed to defeat foreign attempts to break up our country in my father's watch. His strongest critics have conceded that. So let us all be part of the solution that we choose. In that lies the power to get it done. Always be open to differing views, but ever united in our chosen goal. Never hesitating to change it, should it prove wanting. That is how agile, resilient republics are made. Our future we decide today. Yesterday cannot make that decision anymore, nor can tomorrow delay it. The sooner we start, the surer and quicker the prospect of achieving our future. These are troubling times. What's happening to others can happen to us, but it will not. We see what's happening. We are witness to how it is being stopped, and we have seen the glory that crowns struggle against all odds. Giving up is not an option. We've been through times of bitter division, but united, we came through to this when it shall begin again, but better. The campaigns I've run have taken me here where I stand today. I listened to you, and this is what I have heard. We all want peace in our land. You and your children want a good chance at a better life in a safer, more prosperous country. All that is within reach of a hard-working, warm, and giving race. Your dreams are mine. Pangarap nyo ay pangarap ko. How can we make them come true? How can we do it together? But I will take it as far as anyone with the same faith and commitment can, as if it depended entirely on himself. Sa pangarap na maging mapayapa ang ating bansa, ang pangarap nyo ay pangarap ko. Sa pangarap na maging maunlad ang ating bansa, ang pangarap nyo ay pangarap ko. At sa pangarap na maging mas masinang ang kinabukasan natin at ng ating mga anak, Ang pangarap nyo ay pangarap ko. We are presently drawing up a comprehensive, all-inclusive plan for economic transformation. We will build back better by doing things in the light of the experiences that we have had, both good and bad. It doesn't matter. No looking back in anger or nostalgia. In the road ahead, the immediate months will be rough, but I will walk that road with you. The pandemic ravaged bigger economies than ours. The virus is not the only thing to blame. What had been well built was torn down. We will build it back better. The role of agriculture cries for the urgent attention that its neglect and misdirection now demands. Food self-sufficiency has been the key promise of every administration. None but one delivered. There were inherent defects in the old ways and in recent ways too. The trade policy of competitive advantage made the case that when it comes to food sufficiency, a country should not produce but import what other countries make more of and sell cheapest. Then came Ukraine. The most vulnerable when it comes to food are the countries furthest away from the conflict, those bearing no blame for provoking it. Yet they face the biggest risk of starvation. If financial aid is poured into them, though it never is, there is nothing to buy. Food is not just a trade commodity. Without it, people weaken and die. Societies come apart. It is more than a livelihood. It is an existential imperative and a moral one. An agriculture damaged and diminished by unfair competition will have a harder time or will have no prospects at all of recovering. Food sufficiency must get the preferential treatment the richest free trade countries always gave their agricultural sectors. Their policy boils down to don't do as we do. Do what we tell you to. I am giving that policy the most serious thought if it doesn't change or make more allowances for emergencies with long-term effects. There is a parallel problem in our energy supply. Sufficient fossil fuel-free technology for whole economies has yet to be invented. And it is not seriously tried by rich countries. Again, consider the response of the richest countries to the war in Ukraine. But surely, a free world awash with oil can assure supplies. Or we will find a way. We are not far from oil and gas reserves that have already been developed. What we teach in our schools, the materials used must be rethought. I am not talking about history. I am talking about the basics, the sciences, sharpening theoretical aptitude and imparting vocational skills, such as in the German example, alongside the national language with equal emphasis and facility in a global language, which we had and lost. Let us give OFWs all the advantages we can for them to survive and to thrive. Our teachers from elementary up are heroes fighting ignorance with poor paper weapons. We are condemning the future of our race to menial occupations abroad. Then they are exploited by traffickers. Once we had an education system that prepared coming generations for more and better jobs. There is hope for a comeback. Vice President and soon-to-be Secretary of Education, Sara Duterte Carpio, will fit that mission to a T. We won't be caught unprepared, under-equipped, and understaffed to fight the next pandemic. To start with, we never got over the pandemic of poor, if any, free public health. The last major upgrade of a public health system, exemplified by the resources poured into PGH, predates the current shambles by 3 generations. Our nurses are the best in the world. They acquitted themselves with the highest distinction abroad, having suffered even the highest casualties. With the same exemplary dedication at home, they just got by. They are out there because we cannot pay them for the same risk and workload that we have back here. There will be changes starting tomorrow. I am confident because I have an OPLE in my cabinet. There were shortcomings in the COVID response. We will fix them out in the open. No more secrets in public health. Remember, I speak from experience. I was among the first to get COVID. It was not a walk in the park. My father built more and better roads, produced more rice than all administrations before his. President Rodrigo Roa Duterte built more and better than all the administrations succeeding my father's. Much has been built, and so well, that the economic dogma of dispersing industry to develop the least likely places has been upturned. Development was brought to them. Investors are now setting up industries along the promising routes built. And yet, the potential of this country is not exhausted. Following these giant steps, we will continue to build. I will complete on schedule the projects that have been started. I'm not interested in taking credit. I want to build on success that's already happening. We will be presenting the public with a comprehensive infrastructure plan. 6 years could be just about enough time. No part of our country will be neglected. Progress will be made wherever there are Filipinos, so no investment is wasted. The recovery of Philippine tourism, with its emphasis on accessing nature's beauty, I am sure will exceed expectations. And bigger is not always better, but there's something to be said for economies of scale. And yet the country invites investments in fast-rising industries with quick returns and inflicts irreparable damage for future generations. We have yet to see large-scale practical solutions to pollution, though some are beginning to emerge. But there are tried and proven new ways of mitigation. Blades have been turning over the sand dunes of Ilocos Norte, harnessing a power all around, but unseen, long before this day. I built them. The rich world talks a great deal, but does a lot less about it than those with much less, but who suffer more death and destruction from climate change and lack of adaptation. We will look to our partners and friends to help the Philippines, who, despite having a very small carbon footprint, is at the highest risk. First, spare victims, then help them recover, and move on to lessen the harmful impact of climate change. We too have our part to play. We are the third biggest plastics polluter in the world, but we won't shirk from that responsibility. We will clean up. You will not be disappointed, so do not be afraid. With every difficult decision that I must make, I will keep foremost in my heart and in my mind the debt of gratitude I owe you for the honor and responsibility that you have conferred on me. Whatever is in a person to make changes for the better of others, I lay before you now in my commitment. I will try to spare you. You have your other responsibilities to carry. But I will not spare myself from shedding the last bead of sweat or giving the last ounce of courage and sacrifice. And if you ask me why I am so confident of the future, I will answer you simply that I have 110 million reasons to start with. Such is my faith in the Filipino. Believe, have hope. The sun also rises like it did today and as it will tomorrow. And as surely as that, we will achieve the country all Filipinos deserve. God bless the Philippines. God bless our work. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Magandang tanghali po.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.
We will now have a photo opportunity with President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos
Okay,
Jr.
napakaganda po ng
May we
speech
invite
ng
the first
ating
family on stage.
mahal na
First
Pangulo,
Lady,
no?
Liza
Napakaganda po.
Araneta Marcos.
Yung lahat po ng
Ferdinand
kanyang mga
Alexander
sinabi
Sandro Marcos.
pag-angat po sa
Joseph Simon
mga Pilipino,
Marcos.
no? Yung pag-asa natin
And
sa
William
ating
Vincent
mga kababayan.
Marcos.
Ang ganda po ng mga sinabi niya, yung pangarap ko ay pangarap, yung pangarap nyo ay pangarap ko, no? Napaka matindi po yung pag-ugnay niya, no? Yung hindi po siya yung magsisimula muli. Hindi po siya magsisimula sa wala dahil nirecognize niya po yung ating mahal na Pangulong Duterte, no? Yung po ang maganda rito kay Pangulong Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, yung pagkilala, no, sa mga nagawa ng ating mahal na Pangulong Duterte at sa pangako po niya na ipagpapatuloy niya itong mga ginawa. Marami rin po siya, no, yung food security po ay talagang pinahalagahan ng ating mahal na Pangulo, no? Na maging lesson sa atin yung nangyari sa Ukraine, na hindi po uubra yung patakaran natin na bumili ng mas pinakamura, no? Kung hindi tiyakin natin na tayo mismo yung nagpo-produce ng mga sarili natin, kasi in the long run talo po yung walang napo-produce. Tama po yun, no? Napaka ironic na tayo po ay isang agricultural country. Napapalibutan po tayo ng mga karagatan. Tayo po ay punong-puno ng katubigan, pero hindi po natin hindi po natin nakukuha yung potential, no, na gamitin ito para po sa ating food security. Kaya po maganda po yan, at yung pag-asa po sa mga Pilipino, sa mga OFW at sa lahing Pilipino, no, saan mang bahagi ng mundo. Ang ganda po ng mensahe ng ating Pangulong BBM, yung punong-puno ng pag-asa. Alam nyo, ito yung namimiss ko sa mga presidente, no? Yung magkaiba po yung approach nila ni Pangulong Duterte. Si Pangulong Duterte po parang yung Pangulo na, alam mo yun, yung sanggano ka, yung may sumapak sa'yo, lika, buweltahan natin. Samantalang ito si PBBM naman, kakaiba naman po yung estilo niya. Siya yung Pangulo na alam mo uunlad yung Pilipinas. Si Pangulong Duterte, yung parang antagal nating inapi, di ba? Inapi tayo sa napakamatagal na panahon, yung binabatok-batukan tayo, yung sinisipa-sipa tayo, pinagtitripan, no? Sabay dumating si Pangulong Duterte, tara. Yung pride, binalik niya yung pride. Samantalang ito po kay Pangulong BBM naman, Alam mo yun, yung another level na tayo eh. Yung kumbaga, nasimulan ni Pangulong Duterte na ipaliwanag ni BBM kung ano yung ginawa ni Pangulong Duterte, no? Si Pangulong Duterte kasi as is eh. Di ba? Ayan po, may maawit po, napakaganda. Pilipinas kong mahal. Ang ginawa po sa atin ni Pangulong BBM, no? Binigyan niya po ng proper perspective yung mga ginawa ni Pangulong Duterte, na ito po yung tuntungan natin, no, sa pag-unlad. Ayan po yun eh. Continuity, kaya po tama tayo sa panawagan natin na continuity. Bagamat hindi po si Pangulong Duterte kasi iba eh. Ayan na yan, pinatayo ko yan. Ma-appreciate nyo yan o hindi. Basta pinatayo ko yan, bahala na kayo sa buhay nyo. Kung hindi nyo yan ma-appreciate, hindi ko na problema yun. Pero binigyan po ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos ng perspective. Ito, yung mga ginawa ni Pangulong Duterte, yung inabot ng pag-unlad, miski yung mga hindi naaabot dati, no? Itutuloy niya lang yun para buong Pilipinas makaranas ng pag-unlad. Napakaganda, no? Ngayon ko lang, sa totoo lang, ngayon lang din nag-sink in sa atin, no? Ganun nga pala talaga yung ginawa ni Pangulong Duterte, no? Sa totoo lang, doon pa lang sa paniniga ni Pangulong Duterte sa mga anong tawag dito, sa mga oligarko at sa mga sigang media, tuwan-tuwa na tayo eh. Sinasabi lang natin yung build ay napakaganda kasi talaga namang ang dami pong nagawa ni Pangulong Duterte, pero yung proper perspective, no, na itong build na to, siya po yung mag-aabot ng kaunlaran sa buong Pilipinas. Kay BBM naman natin nare-realize, no? Mas ma-appreciate po talaga natin si Pangulong Duterte dahil po sa pagpasok ni Pangulong BBM. Alam niyo yun? Nag-ano sila eh, yung husay nila pareho na magkaiba, makikinabang talaga yung Pilipinas. Very hopeful tayo ngayon, no? Very hopeful na, alam mo kanina nakikinig na tumatayo po yung balahibo natin dahil sa wakas ulan. Alam niyo yun? Yung pag nakinig ka kay BBM, uunlad na ang Pilipinas. Grabe, maghukay na tayo ng mga langis. Narinig nyo, di ba? It's time para ma-harness na itong mga to. Nariyan na po, nasimulan na. Meron tayong mga okay na po yan, no? Talagang huhukayin natin yung mga langis dyan sa West Philippine Sea. Lahat po mangyayari after ni Pangulong Duterte, yung talagang nag-pave way siya. Una, nag-pave way siya na pwede pala tayong umunlad, no? Pwede palang magkaroon ng mga proyekto yung mga magagaling na presidente. Ikalawa po, pwede naman po pala yung po palang mga ginawa ni Pangulong Duterte, talagang tuntungan po pala yun, no? Hindi po tayo makakarating sa pangarap ni BBM na kaunlaran kung hindi po naging presidente si Pangulong Duterte. Kasi hindi po siya mananalo. Hindi sisikat si Sara Duterte, di ba? Wala silang unit team. Ayan lang po, no? So, maraming salamat Pangulong Duterte sa mga naibigay mo na marirealize po natin sa gagawin ni Pangulong BBM. Maraming salamat Pangulong BBM sa alam niyo po yung sinasabi ko na merong wisdom, no? Tong mga tao na to may wisdom, kaya lang very articulate po ni Pangulong BBM yung patutunguhan po ng wisdom na ito, no? Si Pangulong Duterte kasi, alam niya yung gagawin. Hindi naman natin alam. alam niyo ibig ko sabihin. Natutuwa tayo dahil ang dami-daming ginagawa, no? Nakakatuwa dahil alam niyo yun, mga bagong tulay, bagong highway, pero na-articulate ni Pangulong BBM na itong lahat ng ginawa ni Pangulong Duterte, ito yung tuntungan natin sa pag-unlad. Susundan lang ng mga, magkakaroon lang ng continuation, ay uunlad na po ang Pilipinas. Grabe po, no? Talagang ano po kayo, hawak lang po tayo, no? Huwag po kayo mag-alala, kanya-kanya po tayong role na gagampanan. Yung may mga trabaho, magtrabaho, magbayad ng buwis. Yung mga babanat sa kay Pangulong BBM, kami na po bahala dyan. Kami na po bahalang trumabaho dyan. Ang ganda po ng backdrop natin, no? National Museum. Grabe. Okay, ngayon lang po tayo may background na National Museum. Teka, iangat ko nga to para hindi ako masyadong istorbo. Di ba? Napakaganda. Habang nagsasalita si Badong ay National Museum. Tama po, wala pong gaanong nangyaring mga pasapasakalye, no? Ang nangyari po ay talagang very solemn. Wala na pong ibang kaganapan, wala pong mga konsyerto. Ayan, napapanood po natin yung ating mga kababayan na tuwan-tuwa na nasaksihan. Ayan po ang unang pamilya. Ang ganda pala ng National Museum, no? Dalaw po tayo dyan minsan. Ipapasyal ko kayo dyan. Okay. So sana po tuloy-tuloy na yung ating tuloy-tuloy yung ating pag-unlad sa ating mahal na bagong Pangulo. Ayan po, binabati niya po yung mga kinakamayan niya po na nakapilang mga dignitaries. Sana mabigyan kami ng pagkakataon na makover si PBBM. Ang ganda naman ng yung mga vloggers naman. Pero okay lang, masama tayo sa game site to. O bakit nandito ka? Bakit naman wala tayo ron eh. Wala naman, natansya ko na po na hindi na makakalapit. Mukhang hindi naman talaga makakalapit yung mga Okay, yan po. Ang saya po ng mga tao. Medyo wala pong malungkot, no? Lahat po ay nakangiti. Ang ganda po ng National Museum, no? Aerial view. Ayun po. Ang likod po nun na nakita po yung building, yung ang Philippine Normal University. Patuloy po sa pagkamay sa mga dignitaryo si Pangulong BBM. Tignan po natin kung ano na po yung nagaganap. Ikutin po natin yung ating Uy, bakit ako nagkaganyan? Nawala yung ating Teka, hanapin natin yung naglaho. Yun. Tapos na po malamang to. Shoutout sa iyo, Jerry Ramirez. Asahan ko yan, Badong, uunlad na ang Pilipinas. Tama po. Ang sarap po sa pakiramdam. Ang ganda po, no? Itong area na to, talagang nagsasabayan yung mga lumang building at mga bagong building, no? Napakaganda po ng bihis ng National Museum. bagong pintura. Sana lahat ng mga lumang building natin ganyan, mga historical building. Sasaliw po ng awiting Pilipinas kung mahal. At ayan. Okay, mamaya po magbabalik po tayo. Doon na tayo sa mamaya sa may ating channel na Badong Aratlis para po suriin natin kung ano po tong mga naganap dito po sa ating mula po sa pagpapalitan ni Pangulong Duterte at ni Pangulong BBM. Congratulations po sa atin lahat. Mukhang hindi po nakaporma yung mga rallyista. Hindi po natin wala po tayong narinig mula sa kanila. Naging payapa po, very solemn. At dito na po nagwawakas ang ating coverage, no? Ayan, pag may mga coverage pong ganito, dito na lang po sa Pindot na TV. Para naman po hindi ko kasi alam. Ito po yung City Hall, no? Ayan, no? Yung clock tower. May isa pong nagtatangkang ibenta yan. Hindi, biro lang daw yan. Okay, mukhang tapos na po ang ating programa. Wala na po. Teka, balak nating ikutin tong mga Teka lang mga kapatid, parang gusto kong ikutan tong ating mga vloggers. Di ba? Tignan nga natin. Hanap nga tayo ng mga vloggers kung ano na ang nangyayari sa kanila. Baka may mga nagbablog pa na ayaw kong makita nito. Hanap po tayo ng mga vloggers na pwede nating i-picture kung nasan sila. Susubukan lang po natin Huwag po kayong maiinip Mag-ano lang po tayo ng mga vloggers. Tignan lang natin kung saan sila makikita. Yan. YouTube. Kung sino po yung mga naka-live na vloggers. Baka pwede natin silang wala. Wala bang vloggers na naka-live ngayon? Para makita po natin yung mga yung mga pangyayari po sa paligid-ligid. Mas gusto natin yung mga vloggers pag talagang up to date Nakasawi ang palad. Wow, makita. Sino ba mga kilala nyo? Si Daddy D muna. Daddy D. Yung mga tropa pips natin Yan. Ayan si Daddy D. Tignan natin.
Mga kababayan, at welcome po sa aking YouTube channel. Ayan. So ngayong araw nga po ito po yung ating update dito sa may Intramuros kung saan ito po yung pinaka-entrance natin kababayan, no?
Tapos na rin yung mga live nila. Nasa Plaza Miranda po ang nagrarally, boss. Si Esme, boss. Tignan natin si Esme, Parang pagliligpitan. Parang magliligpit na kasi yung National Museum. Parang tayo na lang yata. Sabi siguro na National Museum, visit na Badong to. Tapos na kami, nagko-coverage pa. Sino yung mga naka-live ngayon? Si Esme? Tingnan natin. Esme TV. Esme pala, Esme. Yan. Hindi pala, kasi ano to. Wala rin eh. Nanawa yata sa paglalive ang mga tao. Tapos na siguro kaya tinapos na rin nila yung live nila. Nabiti naman ako rito sa coverage. Ramdam na ramdam ko pa naman na ako ay anchor. Sino mo ba nakikita nyo ano? Kaya maghanap nga tayo para i-interviewin natin ang live. Ano natin eh, susubukan natin. Joms TV po. Pinakamagandang coverage. Hindi, yung mga ano lang. Yung mga, anong tawag dyan? Engineer Berto. Tignan natin kung may live si Engineer Berto. Wala rin eh. Panay 4 hours. Okay, anyway. Wala po tayong makuha sa ano. Gustong gusto ko pa naman tong ano na to. Yung may bago kasi kong gadget na pan-live kaya tinitignan natin eh. Nag-ano tayo. Okay. Ayan na po. Dito po natin tatapusin pansamantala. Total wala. Wala po tayong makitang naka-live. Hanggang dito na lang. Hanggang sa muli. Badong Ratilis po para sa Pindot na TV. Bye-bye. Paalam.